Hello everyone and welcome to our Power Connect session. And as you can judge by my look, I'm taking it from Indonesia. And this is our first Power Connect section in 2023, and I'm super happy to have as our guest James Wijaya, who is a co-founder of Multipro Jaya Prima, our partner in e-commerce in Indonesia. And let's look into Indonesia itself. It is a unique, really country with a specific character, but also diverse in culture and in nature. Indonesia is a very digital country. McKinsey calls it digital first, with lots of people really going on digital and shifting from offline to online and boosting e-commerce business. Indonesians spend lots of time surfing the internet. An average Indonesian would spend about 4 hours surfing the internet, which is twice more than what US person will do. If you look into the country itself, we will see a big boost from offline to online, driven by ladies, because ladies are doing 35% of purchase online, while offline they're doing only 15% of that. It's interesting to note that almost 2/3 of sales are done now through online commerce, while the remainders are undertaking through social commerce. It's also interesting that in Indonesia we have now the terminology which is called shop-etainment. What it means is that where streaming services and digital platforms are being increasingly leveraged to sell directly with a rich presentation of entertainment and e-commerce. Multipro Jaya Prima has worked with Schneider Electric for more than 10 years. And so historically the company started focusing on the servers, they made a big investment and changed their policy to go actively in e-commerce. And now we can see that e-commerce accounts for 80% of the company's revenue. So once again, we welcome here the co-founder of Multipro Jaya Prima, Mr. James Wijaya, and thank you for joining us. And we would appreciate if you help us to look more deeply into the digital world of Indonesia and the way the companies operate there. What are the main drivers of this market and where you see the future of it?
Well, thank you. It's good.
Okay, so it's my pleasure. And maybe we can start with some questions. All right, so if you can tell us a little bit more about your experience, your unique experience in this area, and why did you choose to go to this area? And also tell us a little bit how Indonesian market differs from other markets in East Asia.
So Indonesia is quite unique compared to other Southeast Asian countries, because when you look at Indonesia and everything that surrounds it, like for example, low internet penetration, low smartphone penetration, low digital penetration, and poor logistics infrastructure. But when you look at the e-commerce activity, it's actually the highest in Southeast Asia. And for us businesses, it actually becomes a huge motivation for us to go online, to go to e-commerce landscape and actually try to profit from that industry. And for us, primarily, we did see some problems, primarily in the logistics thing, but we were able to work around it because you see our e-commerce platform, they have their own functions that could actually be able to help us if we utilize them correctly. And as we were able to utilize them correctly, we were actually be able to work around those problems and actually succeeded.
Yeah, it's interesting because according to the studies of McKinsey, which calls the Indonesian people like digital first nation, and you refer that e-commerce is picking up, at the same time you say it's low penetration of internet, right? So it's kind of an interesting paradox which you see in this country. So where do you see the region to develop further in these digital transformations we have touched upon?
Well, I see that, we see that in the near future, things will get more and more digital. As with the governments, they've been putting a lot of efforts to ramp up digital transformation as well. we're seeing a lot more investments in towers being built, network towers everywhere in Indonesia, across the country, just to promote digital transformation, just to get more people to use the internet and to be on the internet and actually move e-commerce landscape overall.
Okay, so I would say you started this movement to e-commerce, but your company was founded 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you started as a server company, right? Selling servers. But then you took a decision to go to e-commerce, and you know that you have succeeded a lot, so you really have a great vision. So can you tell us a little bit more about this digital transformation of your own company?
Well, Multipro in the past, we've always been moving to the next big thing. In the past, when we started to establish the company in 1998, we started to do marketing door-to-door. We just go to each business's door-to-door, literally knocking on people's doors and offering them our products. And then after that, we moved to website, and then we utilized Google search engine. And now we're moving to e-commerce because we think that this is the next big thing. Again, this is still very small in Indonesia. This is as of currently, it's still a low-hanging fruit for us. So we believe that, we believe in this very, very much. And that's why we decided to expand our reach further with e-commerce. It really has a big opportunity for us businesses. For example, we were allowed to reach out to more customers currently, even more than before.
That's interesting, thank you. And it's another interesting comment from McKinsey, is that the future business, more than 50%, especially online business, will not come from Greater Jakarta, but from the towns of Tier 3, Tier 2 type. And looking into this, let's say, prediction, does it impact your business, and how? Is it impacting your customer pattern or customer approach or product in any way? How do you want to focus on this?
When we talk about customer patterns throughout Indonesia, it's pretty much the same. However, we do, as of currently, we're seeing more and more customers coming from outside of Jakarta. We believe that this is because of the government's decentralization efforts to get things outside of Java moving, to decentralize economic activities outside of Java and actually grow the other islands in the country. And for us, as of now, Jakarta is still the biggest sales contributor, but we believe in the near future, other areas will start to begin picking up steam. Well, right now it also has been picking up steam as well. It's been growing very, very rapidly. So we do predict that in the span of maybe next decade or 5 years later, the sales percentage between Jakarta sales and the outside of Jakarta will be even.
Yeah. Okay. So you will focus also to promote the products outside of Jakarta through special website, or it will be the same website?
That's the great thing about e-commerce. You don't need a special website.
So it will be the same, also the same. Okay, perfect. So researchers state that fashion, electronics, health and beauty account for 70% of the online sales, actually in e-commerce. When you decided to move to e-commerce, have you taken this trend into account, or something else impacted your decision?
Well, we did a few research before we jump into e-commerce regarding this. We did kind of a thought that perhaps beauty products, FMCG products in general, will be the first one to be the main trend there. Electronics will soon follow too, but we didn't expect it to be this big. So yeah.
That is great. So that's really very good. And first of all, we are very grateful for you working with us for more than 10 years. And I know that recently you have opened an experience store, which is actually the first experience store in Indonesia. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Well, you see, when we start to move into e-commerce, as we're in the market doing and selling stuff to B2B and B2C customers, we start to notice primarily from B2C customers that they're starting to been picking up steam. We're seeing much more and more B2C customers into our sales mix. And most of them are starting to ask us, Can we see the products? Can it do this? Can it do that? We really would like to test the products ourselves. And well, when we look at Indonesia, when we're doing business fair, we didn't see any APC by Schneider Electric experience store, and we think that since it is one of our top products, we should do it. This is an opportunity that we could actually capitalize. You see, B2C customers, for us, they've been growing very, very rapidly. Yeah, it's very significant since compared to the few decades, it's been 65% more B2C customer compared to last year.
Okay, that's really great. And I know that it's not only APC products, but also all Schneider. You can see there a lot of also software solutions of Schneider. So that is really great how you have expanded outside of the secure power to start offering in this experience store, and then also hope it will come online as well, the wider Schneider portfolio. That was really great. And maybe the last question will concern your experience with partners, because you said that you work not only directly with end customers, but also with partners. How do you leverage on this work?
Well, our partners, they've been with us for a long time, as we've been here in the industry for more than 20 years. We're very grateful for them. In the very early days, we only have one partner. But as we were able to consistently and consecutively not only achieve but beat their sales target, more opportunities have been coming up into our doors. They've been giving us so much support, whether it be emotionally or perhaps by Schneider, the experience store, and we cannot thank you enough for that.
Thank you. So once again, we're having here James Wijaya, co-founder of Multipro Jaya Prima, and we thank you very much for coming and sharing your experience with us. And definitely we always say that our partners are our main approach to business and to the market. We're so happy with your success, because your success is also our success. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Natalie. You're welcome.